I want to go across to Dr. Jaiprakash Mulayal, who's looking at what's happening in India. And last time you had a contrarian take, which many people spoke about after you'd finished speaking to India today, Dr. Mulayal. Given the evidence at hand at this moment, do you believe this lockdown needs to be extended? Should it be ended? What's your view, sir? Welcome.
Well, I don't have to elaborate the hardship a lockdown produces to an average Indian family. I'm talking about the daily wage earners and things like that. So it's very obvious. There is an economic hardship. Agriculture is in trouble. Health-wise, there are other implications. And so it's quite an expensive thing. Now, remember, this particular lockdown does reduce transmission of the disease. And if we could harmlessly continue lockdown and go on and on and on, locked up in our rooms for a prolonged period, if it were possible, I suppose that is the cheapest way. But there is no end in sight for that, because every time you release the lockdown and start activities, there will be rise in the number of cases.
So if there's a rise in the level of cases, again. Dr. Mulayal, how then should India deal with the situation post the 3rd of May? You're saying it's almost inevitable that cases will surge no matter when we ease the lockdown. So what should we do post the 3rd of May, sir?
The thing is, there are priority areas where we need to focus on. And as you are aware of, primarily our industries, our agriculture, most important of them, services. These are all what make a living worthwhile. So if you don't have the income generating process, you can't have many of the families really surviving with dignity. So I think we have to be cautious. When we open up, it doesn't matter where you're opening up. You know, each place is at a different state of evolution, different rate of infection. Now, they're all tracking towards one similar point. Some will reach early, others will reach slowly. The rate at which we reach that end point, and I've described the end point in different of my discussion, virologically and epidemiologically, the end point that we anticipate is the threshold value of herd immunity or community immunity.
Interesting that you make this point that you have to work towards community immunity or herd immunity. Dr. Santosh Ansumali, you've heard two different perspectives. You've been doing a lot of modeling with the principal scientific advisor to the Government of India, K. Vijayaraghavan. What's your sense of what the government should do? How are you looking at where we are at medically?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me here. And then a clarification. The study we have done is a purely academic exercise, and it's not an official principal scientific advisor office initiative, though we are getting support from them. Yeah. Now,
a sense of what we need to do post the 3rd of May.
Sorry?
What should India do post the 3rd of May?
Yeah, so first let me describe part of the data. We were looking at the data today, and before lockdown versus post lockdown, the difference is something like this, that if we were before lockdown trajectory, in 4 weeks from now, we would be probably close to 250 times larger than today's infection.
Wow.
On the other hand, because of the lockdown, the exponent has slowed down quite a bit, and it has come down to close to 20 times. So that means lockdown is effective. That's the good part. The bad part is in last 1 week to 10 days, we are seeing evidence that it's actually too leaky now. So it's already sign of lockdown breaking is visible. Maharashtra is one good example. And as previous person said, I would also prefer that looking at these data, we should go kind of phased manner release. Because what are the options? Do we have hospital infrastructure to take a sudden load? My answer would be no. I don't think that we can suddenly open up everything and let a sudden increase happen.
Okay, so I see what you're saying, that it cannot be a sudden easing of the lockdown. It has to be phased, it has to be gradual. There are problems with that as well. Remember, this is one of the trickiest exit strategies the government needs to work on. So there's no easy binary, yes, no, lockdown, end or ease. There's a very complicated strategy. We'll keep tracking that very carefully. Thank you very much for joining us, Professor. I want to tell you about something special that we're lining up for Tuesday, 7 p.m. This is the grand finale of the India Today e-conclave, which has been just such a smashing success. Thanks for all your feedback, your encouragement. Tomorrow we will have one of the greatest chroniclers of our time, the iconic New York Times columnist Thomas Friedman, talking to us on The World Is Now ... You remember his book, The World Is Flat? If he were rewriting a book on today's globalization, what would the title be? Understanding the New Globalization. 3 times Pulitzer Prize winner, one of the best known storytellers of our time, Tom Friedman, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Tune in live for this gala finale of the India Today e-conclave. This is where I wrap up tonight. Rajdeep Sardesai is up next with News Today. Goodbye. Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kanwal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.